Welcome back to C1 Novel and Vocab Week 20. And this one is for novel. So, in this video, I'll be going over difficult phrases from our novel, and this is for cultural fluency. By becoming familiarized with different slang and colloquialisms, which means sayings, students will be able to relate to the novel and incorporate these phrases to convey their ideas more precisely. And for this video, I'll be going over because of Winn-Dixie for chapters 6 through 10. So let's get started. Our first word or phrase comes from page 35. So please get your book and open up to page 35. And I'll read from the middle where it says, come on. Ready? Come on, I said. Let me help you up. It's okay. I stuck my hand and Miss Fanny took hold of it, and I pulled her up off the floor. She didn't weigh hardly anything at all. Once she was standing on her feet, she started acting all embarrassed, saying how I must think she was a silly old lady mistaking a dog for a bear. But that she had a bad experience with a bear coming into the Herman W. Block Memorial Library a long time ago, and she never had quite gotten over it. What does it mean to had gotten over something? To have gotten over something, this phrase means that someone has not fully recovered from a bad experience. So the memory or impact of the event still affects them even after a long time. So she had not gotten over it. Gotten over it is a common way to say that someone has recovered from an illness or an emotional setback. Adding never had quite emphasizes that the recovery was not complete and that the person still feels the effects of a past experience. But why are we saying gotten over or get over something? It means that moving past something. So they haven't gotten past it. Together they paint a picture of feelings that are still there and impacts. An example, a way that you can use it is ever since her cat ran away, she had never gotten over it, meaning she's still really sad that her cat ran away. Or he had a bad fall while riding his bike and had never gotten over it, always feeling nervous about biking again. So whenever he was biking, he felt a bit scared because he had not gotten over it. So here in the picture below, I have these two people trying to jump over something to get over. Good. Try using it next time. Maybe you failed the test and then you're like, oh, I'm so bad at taking tests. I hate myself. No. You have to get over it, overcome it, and do better next time. Next one, our phrase comes from page 38. So let's go to page 38. And I'm going to start in the middle where it says, what about the bear? Everyone there? Okay. It says, what about the bear? I said. Did I mention that Florida was wild in those days? Miss Fanny Block said. Uh-huh, you did. It was wild. There were wild men and wild women and wild animals, like bears. Yes, ma'am, that's right. Now, I have to tell you, I was a little Miss Know-It-All. I was a Miss Smarty-Pants with my library full of books. Oh, yes, ma'am. I thought I knew the answers to everything. So, Little Miss Know-It-All. Can you guess what this means? This phrase is used to describe someone, usually a girl or a young woman, who thinks that they know everything and often shows off their knowledge. And it can be a bit teasing or critical. So it's just saying, Little Miss Know-It-All, you think you know everything? This phrase combines from Little Miss, a term often used to address a young girl, and Know-It-All, a term to say that someone who acts like they know everything. It's playful, or sometimes it could be a bit mean to call someone that. There's also this long time ago TV show or comic This person here was Little Miss Know-It-All. That was her name. So she always acted like she knew everything. It was a character. So next time you can maybe use this and say, she corrected the teacher again. She's such a Little Miss Know-It-All. Like, say that the teacher put up the wrong answer for 1 + 1, and then she wrote 3. And then the girl, the Little Miss Know-It-All, she was like, teacher, that's wrong. 1 + 1 is 2. And she corrected the teacher. Or you can say, being a Little Miss Know-It-All, she answered all the questions before anyone else could. So she was always the one there answering. Little Miss Know-It-All or Miss Smarty Pants. It could be a cute way to call someone that, but usually it's not really a nice thing to say. Because you're kind of making fun of someone. I closed my book. Page 45, everyone. Page 45. Let's start from the very top. Ready? It says, I don't think I can do that, said the man. He shook his head. No, the owner, she wouldn't like that. He looked down at the counter. He wouldn't look at me. He had thick black hair and it was slicked back like Elvis Presley's. He had on a name tag that said Otis. We met a new character here, Otis. And slick back like Elvis Presley. If you can think about Elvis Presley, I put 2 character or cartoon versions of Elvis Presley here. And his hair is slicked back. He always had his hair like that. This phrase is to describe the hair that is styled to lie flat and smooth against the head, often with the help of gel or spray or something. And it's similar to how the famous Elvis Presley always had his hair. So Elvis Presley, he was a famous singer, if you don't know, in the 1950s and 60s, and he was known for his iconic hairstyle. He was always the one who had this slicked back hair. And it became a symbol of his coolness and rock and roll. So you can say something like, wow, he came to the party with his hair slicked back like Elvis. Do any of you guys have slicked back hair where it's all like shh and awesome and so handsome? Slicked back. Mine is not slicked back. It's just bleh. Page 52 is also not a nice word. Not a nice phrase, but people say it. Let's start from the top. Page 52, everyone there? It says, but he didn't. She's probably eating him right now, Stevie said. He and Dunlap were standing behind me. She eats dogs all the time. Get lost, you bald-headed babies, I said. Hey, said Dunlap, that ain't a very nice way for a preacher's daughter to talk. He and Stevie backed off a little. So get lost. What does this mean? This phrase is a very blunt way of telling someone to go away and leave you alone. Get lost is a slang expression that has been used since maybe like the mid-20th century. It implies that the person should leave and not be found again, as if they should wander off and disappear. So get lost, so meaning go into the woods and get lost, meaning don't find your way. So it means being gone and unable to find your way back. Together, these 2 words, get and lost, forcefully suggest that someone should leave immediately and never return. So you can use this in a sentence like, when the bullies approached, she told them to get lost, meaning go away, bullies. Or you can say he was annoyed and shouted, get lost, when his brother kept bothering him. Not a very nice way to say for you to tell someone to go away, but this is what it meant. Get lost. I hope I don't hear my very nice and kind 3rd graders say this to anyone though. Get lost. Page 53. No picture here, but let's go to the next page. I'm gonna go in the middle where it says she was old. 1, 2, 3. The 3rd indent. It says she was old with crinkly brown skin. She had on a big floppy hat with flowers all over it, and she didn't have any teeth. But she didn't look like a witch. She looked nice, and Winn-Dixie liked her, I could tell. I'm sorry he got in your garden, I said, meaning Winn-Dixie. You ain't gotta be sorry, she said. I enjoy a little company. You ain't got to be sorry. In regular English, where we learned grammatically, it should say you don't have to be sorry. But why does it say you ain't got to be sorry? So, again, this phrase means you don't have to apologize, and they don't need to say it. But ain't. Ain't is a contraction commonly used in informal speech, particularly in some regional dialects of the US. And it's a non-standard form of is not or are not. So is not together would be isn't. Good. And are not together would be aren't. But this is kind of a slang way of saying isn't or aren't. And it is ain't. And in this case, we here have ain't. It's not you is not or you are not. Here, it's combining the words have not or has not. It's a phrase that is colloquial, meaning we only say it, and reflects very casual everyday speech. So it's informal, so it's just saying that this lady is being very friendly and she is relaxed in this conversation. So instead of, I don't want to give any examples of using ain't because it's not proper and not grammatically correct. But just in case if you didn't know what this meant, you ain't got to be sorry, meaning you don't have to be sorry. Very good. Last one. So quick. This video is so short. Let's go to page 57. Let's go in the middle. The second indent, it says I could. I could feel her listening with all her heart, and it felt good. You know what? She said when I was all done. What? Could be that you got more of your mama in you than just red hair and freckles and running fast. Really? I said. Like what? Like maybe you got her green thumb. The two of us could plant something and see how it grows. Test your thumb out. Okay, I said. So green thumb, this was kind of explained in my last video because where it says that she would plant a tire and then a car would grow. Green thumb. Meaning having a green thumb means you're very good at gardening and making plants grow well. It's a compliment for someone who is skilled at taking care of pet plants. Green thumb is likely coming from the idea who works a lot with plants and might get green stains on their thumbs from handling and touching all those leaves and stems. And over time, it became a metaphor for just being good at gardening. So you can say, my grandmother has a green thumb. Her garden is always full of beautiful flowers. So green thumb, it's not actually green, it's a metaphor saying that she's good at planting. Or you can say, I don't have a green thumb. All my plants always die. Yes, I don't have a green thumb, so I don't have any plants at home. But maybe your mom or your dad, they may have a green thumb and you have lots of plants at home. Green thumb. So next time, if you do have plants, you're like, hey mom, you have a green thumb. Your mom's gonna be like, huh? My thumb's not green. You can say, no, I learned it in Miss Kimberly's video. Green thumb means that you're good at planting. Very good. And I know all of you want to see this mission. The mission is to write your favorite sentence or phrase from chapters 6 through 10 that you would like to use in speaking or writing. So not the sentences that I went over today. I want you to go over chapters 6 through 10 and see what kind of phrase that you would like to use in your speech. And don't forget to write your name in class on the paper. Now it's for you to review and self-study again. And this is for contextual mastery, of course. So review the phrases again. Maybe rewatch the video because it was so short. Read it out loud this time. Reread the novel where these phrases came from to fully understand the context, meaning before and after where the phrases came from. And then you can complete your novel homework. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye! Thank you!